Ulala ni no ia.
Gentlemen, as I said a second ago before this thing started, the matte painting that Apple has put in is fantastic. It almost looks 3D.
Unbelievable.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Look at that.
And it's great that you brought our friend Arnold along for the interview.
Listen, you cannot go wrong with Total Recall and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's at the heart of your being, I see.
100%. I actually wore this for an interview with Arnold, and he's like, that's a good-looking guy. And I'm like...
You worked with Arnold?
He looks like he's doing the haka to me.
You worked with Arnold?
So I actually want to go back in time for the two of you. A lot of people won't realize you were both, obviously, once were warriors. You're both, it's pretty crazy if you think about from where you started to where you are right now. At what point in your acting career did you feel like, oh, I did it? Like,
well, I just followed him. We're from the same town, and he was the king of kapahaka, the Māori performing arts. He comes from a lineage of great performers in our town. He's a Morrison, his uncle, his father. And so I always had an eye on him. And then he went into film and television. I watched him. And then he went from there and he went to Hollywood. So I thought, if I just follow behind him, maybe I'll be able to pick up some stuff that he leaves behind. And that's how I got there. I followed him. It's true story. You came here first. And look at him now. Now he's the king of Hawaii, King Kahikili.
Yeah,
and I'm still following him. I'm still following him around.
And that film really impressed Jason too. So that's where the relations started from. He enjoyed some of the cultural aspects of what he's seen come out of our country. He's watched us for a number of years now. He's watched a number of our productions coming out. So yeah, one never knows. One never knows. I actually don't look too far ahead, but as you said, man, we're here now. So this is a monumental thing for us, being involved with this production. I think Jason needed some experience around him to get the story going. They did a big cast, a big net out amongst Polynesia, so they got some really great people in, and we all came together like that as a family. All the cast, we all knew that we had a sense of responsibility to do the best we could with the language. To do the best we could with our performance. And it wasn't easy, but, it required a bit of, you had to dig deep. And even though at the beginning I was a little scared, I'm just so glad that we're here today and very proud to stand along Pa'a and Jason. And this is something dear to their hearts, something that they've had simmering for a while, and we've arrived. So I just feel like I'm one of the paddlers on this journey.
I think you two are pretty strong paddlers. I've watched all 9 episodes. I watched the whole series, and I really want to say you guys did fantastic work.
Thank you.
One of the things, though, is I would imagine as actors, and you sort of touched on it a little bit, the responsibility of a role like this, where you are representing like a culture. Like, can you both talk about what it was like for both of you? Because you've worked on so many other things. What it was like in those months or weeks leading up to the filming, where the pressure you put on yourself.
Mostly it was on the language, was the most difficult part. Secondly is that their descendants are still living today. So they're walking around and they're even on our crew.
Yeah.
He's got a story.
Yeah, there was one day, my first day, one of the crew members holding the microphone said, "You're playing my ancestor. I'm a direct descendant of Kahikili." And it kind of dawned on me and hit me. Boom! Right there and then. I didn't know what to say. I was actually dumbfounded. I just went, I hope like hell she doesn't hit me with that microphone.
And then on the big battlefields, with the lava fields, we actually filmed where that battle took place in those battlefields. And the descendants of my character, Keoua, on that side of the island of Maui, the Black Sands, they are still living there today. So I got to meet the descendants of Kahikili, of Keoua and Kahikili.
So everything you said about those responsibilities, it really hit us. So yeah, I'm still nervous about seeing it tonight.
Hopefully we did okay.
Have you watched it yet?
No.
Oh, so you're seeing it for the first time tonight?
First time tonight. I've seen a couple of the trailers.
People are going to think it's fantastic. Especially one of the things that I commend Apple for doing is the first 2 episodes are not in English. They're in, I forget.
Olelo, Hawaii.
Thank you. But I love that because it makes you feel like you're actually there rather than some bullshit like everyone's speaking English. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
Can you sort of talk about that aspect, that the series isn't just in English the whole time?
I didn't want to speak any English. My character doesn't speak any English because I love the idea that my character is a traditionalist. He doesn't want things to change. He doesn't want guns. He doesn't want their new clothes. He doesn't want to hear anything about their new gods or anything. And so I decided one of my commitments is I'd only speak Ōlelo Hawaii.
I think it was a brave move. We've had Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, all in Chinese, but we got subtitles.
Shogun,
the
lots
recent
of Japanese.
The recent screening of Shogun, all in Japanese. They're Japanese warriors, so it'd be stupid if they're talking in Italian. So with this one here, it had to be in the Hawaiian language. We are Hawaiian kupuna. We are the Hawaiian ancestors. So it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. But we really had to do the work, and we had the language people come in and sit down with us, and we went through it bit by bit by bit by bit, and we really had to get stuck into that. And then learning the language is one thing. Saying it sitting down and talking to you is easy, but when you got your costume on and you're walking around, you know.
That's why I'm not an actor. I could never do what you two did in this series. I'm curious. So you see the shooting schedule in front of you. What day do you have circled in terms of I cannot wait to film this? And what day is circled in terms of how the F are we going to film this?
Yes.
I was very excited to do my scene with Temuera. We have our scene where I come to his kingdom and I sit in front of him. Yes. That was a big scene. I loved that scene.
Yeah, I loved it too. I loved having to work with my brother again. You know, we both come from the same town, both had humble beginnings. So,
I had a big scene on the battlefield with Jason Momoa. So those were my two really big important scenes in the season. Yeah.
And even working with Jason, and he's speaking his language, I'm speaking the Hawaiian language. It was more cultural. It was more spiritual. It was more coming from an organic place too. So it was my heart beats a little stronger when we're doing our Polynesian stuff, you know. E patuki ana te manoa. The heart beats a stronger beat, and we're feeling the vibe. So quite different from, you know, Aquaman and
made up languages and made up sort of exotic places.
Is there something that each of you fought for to include with your character or in the series, and why was it important to you to fight for it?
No, I was pretty happy with everything. I had to draw on the narrative, and everything was good there for me. I wasn't asking for anything too much.
Yeah, I did. I had one.
This guy had a few things too.
Oh, there was a scene where, to sort of show how brutal my character was, that he goes up to the volcano and he sacrifices his wives and his daughters. And I thought, well, this is not going to be a popular guy. I can't imagine why you would do that. Why would you say? And I discussed it with Paʻa, and they took that out of the series, and instead I sacrificed someone else. But I just didn't think it was the right thing for a Hawaiian king to sacrifice his wife. I just didn't think it was the right thing. And we did some research and got some confirmation. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't just made up for dramatic effect. And there was no evidence that they ever did that. So it was taken out of the show, and we replaced it with something that was more believable.
Cliff, I actually read that you became so creatively involved in the project that you became a co-producer.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. When Jason and Paʻa invited me to assist, really, I was more of an assistant producer to help navigate, because we filmed as much as we could here in Hawaii, but then we had to move production to Aotearoa, which was wonderful for us because we needed to connect all of our Māori connections. But there were many, many tribes in Aotearoa that we need to acknowledge as we went through all the tribal, about 25 different tribal boundaries. We worked on different lands. So there was a lot of coordinating and speaking to these different Māori leaders and chiefs in their own right, to make sure that we were honoring our cultural heritage, not just being an ignorant Hollywood production just rolls through town and doesn't really care less. Yeah. And that was at their request and the foresight of Momoa and Paʻa that we did that. Plus we did programs training youth, Hawaiian youth, so that hopefully not too long from now we'll be redundant as Hawaiians, and that we can step aside and we can nurture other Hawaiian actors to come in and be the lead roles in all of the TV shows that shoot here. We shouldn't just have Hawaiians in the background. We should have them being movie stars in the lead, like Jason Momoa. Yeah. So
there were a lot of protocols which Cliff had to take care of too. So he did a great job there for keeping our waka going along smoothly. You know, we can't just turn up on people's land and do our stuff. We've got to clear the way first. It's in our nature. It's in the story. It's in our cultural heritage. So a fantastic job he did there. And again, even though we were making this movie, there was a whole lot of cultural exchanges on different levels. The carvings of the sets, a lot of training took place, and reinvigorating our carvers, and all that kind of thing. The waka, for example, things like that. So it was a cultural experience as well, all around for everybody. So
yeah, it wasn't just a TV show. It was an interconnection of Polynesia.
Yeah,
Tahitian, Samoans, Tongans,
Polynesian, it's coming alive.
Maori and Hawaii, all connected, and even Filipino in the cast, all coming together representing Polynesia at large. Beautiful, beautiful experience.
I'm out of time. I just again want to say congrats. You're going to have an amazing time tonight.
Thank you.
You really are.
Aloha.